Welcome back, dear friends. In this video I will talk about wedge-tailed eagles, Aquila audax. Its description, habitats, structural and behavioral adaptation. I wish you enjoy watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel because this gives me great support for producing more videos about animals' adaptation. The wedge-tailed eagle can be found in Tasmania as well as the mainland of Australia. This massive bird can be found anywhere from the ocean floor to mountain alpine regions. However, open spaces and forested land are their favorites. The rainforest and coastal areas are often avoided by the wedge-tailed eagle. The wedge-tailed eagle rarely inhabits heavily cultivated areas and is almost entirely absent in the vicinity of human settlements. The wedge-tailed eagle often hints in wide open spaces, but they usually nest in dense forests. Due to the fact that water makes up a significant portion of their body weight, wedge-tailed eagles require a sustainable amount of water to survive. The wedge-tailed eagle is capable of taking in water from its prey. Even though wedge-tailed eagles don't really need soil, it grows everything they need to build their nests and grows some of the plants that feed some of their prey. Temperature change has little effect on wedge-tailed eagles, but when it gets too hot, they stay cool by drinking more water and resting in the shade. Death can result from prolonged exposure to high temperatures. The wedge-tailed eagle puffs up their feathers to try to stay warm when it gets too cold for them to bear. Wedge-followed falcons need light as they have comparative eyes to people. Daylight likewise assists them with remaining warm when it's virus. The main threats to the wedge-tailed eagle are loss of nesting habitat, disturbance of nesting birds, and human harassment. The wedge-tailed eagle's nesting habitat has been lost due to logging operations, which frequently leave nested trees isolated, and habitat clearance through agriculture. Due to increased exposure to nesting sites, wedge-tailed eagles rarely reoccupy these sites for breeding purposes after habitat clearances. This is due to the fact that the wedge-tailed eagle is a very private and shy bird that only builds nests in dense woodlands with a lot of trees and surrounding plants. The increased disturbance of their nesting areas has resulted in a decrease in successful breeding for wedge-tailed eagles. Challenges: loss of nesting habitat, disturbance of nesting birds, and human harassment are the wedge-tailed eagle's primary threats. The wedge-tailed eagle's nesting grounds have been destroyed by logging, which frequently leaves nested trees isolated, and agricultural habitat clearing. Because of the increased exposure to nesting sites, wedge-tailed eagles rarely reoccupy these locations for breeding purposes after habitat clearings. This is due to the fact that the wedge-tailed eagle is a very private and shy bird that only builds its nest in dense woodlands that are covered in a lot of trees and plants. The wedge-followed hawks have had a decline in fruitful rearing because of the expanded unsettling influence of their settling regions. If the wedge-tailed eagles are subjected to high levels of disturbance, such as logging operations, roadwork, new construction, tourism, and research, they will flee from their nest. This is because the wedge-tailed eagle is known to be a very shy nester, and they will abandon their nest if they see human activity close to where they are nesting. The wedge-followed hawk eats a different diet, including hares, kangaroos, wallabies, reptiles, different birds, foxes, possums, wild felines and sheep. Additionally, farmers' domestic livestock and carcasses serve as food for eagles. If the wedge-tailed eagle consumes dead animals or livestock, it could result in death. In an effort to stop wedge-tailed eagles from eating their livestock, farmers have turned to poisoning, shooting, and trapping. Other potential threats to the wedge-tailed eagle include collisions with vehicles, collisions with overhead wires and fences, collisions with wind turbines, and electrocution, droughts, fires, secondary and non-target poisoning. For instance, if the wedge-tailed eagle consumes poisoned food intended for small rodents. Adaptations. Behavioral changes. Wedge-tailed eagles mate for life, share a nest with their partner, and share responsibilities with each other, such as taking care of their eggs. Before finding a nest or cliff edge during the wedge-tailed eagle breeding season, they perform aerobic flights together over their territory. Until mating season, when they must construct their own nest, young will remain at the nest and be cared for by their parents. The eagles attack their prey by diving and catching them off guard from above, killing them quickly before they can escape. Wedge-followed falcons utilize the updrafts of thermals or slope slants to rise easily, seldom expecting to fold their enormous wings. This recovers them from squandering energy. In great circles, they soar very high. Pairs often perform aerobatic displays to show off the territory to rivals. This helps the young and eggs survive because predators will be warned off. Physiological transformations. Wedge-tailed eagles are able to see rising thermals and locate their prey from a great distance. They can recognize the flows in the air to acquire height while exhausting little energy. Because of this, the wedge-tailed eagle is able to maintain their energy levels for a longer period of time without having to leave their nest. Adaptations to the structure. One of the world's largest eagles is the wedge-tailed eagle. The falcon's size and weight permits it to chase after bigger creatures and convey them back to their home, for the young and mate. The wedge-tailed eagle's ability to eat a wide range of animals of varying sizes helps them survive. The wedge-tailed eagle's excellent adaptability in vision enables it to accurately gauge distances and locate its prey. The eagles will save energy by not flying aimlessly, which is beneficial. The eyes of the wedge-tailed eagle are also equipped with bony rings that have the ability to squeeze and lengthen the eyeball. The effect is comparable to that of a camera lens. The bird is able to magnify the image of their prey thanks to these structural modifications. The large talons and beaks of wedge-tailed eagles are what they use to kill or attack their prey. Wedge-tailed eagles are able to travel greater distances thanks to their strong wings and large body, which enable them to carry a lot more food to the young. Pattern rhythmic. Wedge-tailed eagles mate with the same partner for life. The breeding season in the south lasts from June to August, and from April to September in the north. The nest is a large platform of sticks constructed high up in a tree fork. 1 to 3 eggs are laid, which hatch 45 days later. Wedge-tailed eagles breed in the south from June to August, so when the chicks hatch from their shell it will be mid-September, spring, when the weather in Australia begins to warm. This allows the parents to leave the chicks for short periods of time to hunt for food without risking the deaths from freezing. Because the weather in North Australia is warm most of the year, their breeding season is much longer than in the south. The female stays on the nest for the first 4 weeks, while the male does all of the hunting. She then joins her friend in the hunt for food. Facts. The wedge-tailed eagle is Australia's largest bird of prey and one of the world's largest birds of prey. The wedge-tailed eagle is so named because of its long, diamond-shaped tail. Wedge-tailed eagles hunt in groups and can catch prey that is several times their own weight. The wedge-tailed eagle constructs a massive stick nest that can be 2 meters across and 4 meters deep. The wedge-tailed eagle is the biggest living bird of prey in Australia and one of the world's largest eagles. How do wedge-tailed eagles look? Description. The wedge-tailed eagle has long wings, wingspan 2.3 meters, a distinctive long, wedge-shaped tail, and feathered legs all the way to the tips. The beak is pale pink to cream in color, the eye is brown to dark brown in color, and the feet are off-white. Young wedge-tailed eagles are dark brown with reddish-brown crowns and wings. For at least the first 10 years of their lives, they darken gradually. Adults are mostly dark blackish-brown. The only variation between the sexes in plumage is that a female adult is slightly paler than her mate. Females are also larger and heavier than males, 4.2 kilograms, 5.3 kilograms, 3.2 kilograms up to 4.0 kilograms. Wedge-tailed eagles are the biggest raptors in Australia. Birds of prey. The white-bellied sea eagle, Haliaeetus leucogaster, Australia's second biggest eagle and second largest bird of prey, has shorter, more rounded wings and no feathers on its lower legs. Where can you find wedge-tailed eagles? Habitat. The wedge-tailed eagle can be found from sea level to mountain alpine regions, but favors wooded and forested land and open country, avoiding rainforest and coastal heaths. Eagles can be seen perched on trees or poles or soaring to heights of up to 2,000 meters. The nest of a wedge-tailed eagle is built in a prominent location with an excellent view of the surrounding countryside. It can be built in either a live or dead tree, but it is typically the tallest in the area. Small trees, shrubs, cliff faces, or even the ground may be used in some areas of Australia where tall trees are missing. The density of active nests is determined by the quantity of prey and other factors. Nests are typically 2.5 kilometers 4 kilometers apart in most years. Because the birds require smaller areas to find adequate food, distances between them may be less than 1 kilometer if conditions are especially favorable. Distribution: the wedge-tailed eagle can be found on the Australian continent, Tasmania, and southern New Guinea. Wedge-tailed eagles consume what? Diet and feeding. Wedge-tailed eagles primarily consume carrion, roadkills and other corpses, but they also consume live prey. The diet reflects the available prey, but rabbits and hares are the most significant live items. Rabbits typically make up 30 to 70% of the diet, but can reach 92%. The introduction of the calicivirus has caused a decline in rabbit populations in many areas of Australia. Lizards, birds weighing more than 100 grams, and animals are also edible, usually weighing over 500 grams. Wedge-tailed eagles will kill lambs, but they account for a small proportion of their overall prey. Many accounts of lamb predation are the product of birds scavenging already dead animals. A carcass can attract up to 20 birds, but only 2 or 3 feed at any given moment. Wedge-tailed eagles hunt in singles, couples, or larger groups. A group of eagles can attack and slay animals as big as adult kangaroos when they work together. This explains the wedge-tailed eagle's scientific moniker, which means bold eagle. An eagle can lift approximately 50% of its body weight under ideal circumstances. Food items are frequently cached by eagles on a branch near the nest location. Wedge-tailed eagles bond in what ways? Breeding patterns. Wedge-tailed eagles appear to be monogamous and bond for life. If one of the birds in a pair is killed, the surviving bird will locate a new mate. Established breeding couples are territorial and spend the entire year in the same area, protecting their nest sites from other wedge-tailed eagles. They are also known on occasion to attack intruding model airplanes, hang gliders, fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters. Large home ranges surround the territories, where the birds hunt for food but do not protect. The home ranges of 2 or more breeding pairs and non-breeding birds typically overlap. The nest is a large structure made of dead sticks that is typically reused for years and can grow to be quite large. There have been reports of nests measuring 1.8 meters across, 3 meters deep, and weighing approximately 400 kilograms. The apex of the nest has a shallow cup lined with fresh twigs and leaves. An avian adds sticks to the nest while standing in it. If these sticks fall outside the nest, no attempt is made to recover them. Under the nest trees, there are 1.8 meter high piles of fallen sticks. The timing of breeding may differ from location to location and year to year depending on the abundance of food in the area. Both parents help construct the nest, incubate the eggs, and feed the young. A clutch is made up of white eggs that measure 73 mm by 59 mm and have different quantities of reddish-brown spots and blotches. These are placed at 2 to 4 day intervals. The first egg is laid, and the process of incubation begins. Because of the time between laying, the eggs do not develop at the same time. The first baby hatches bigger than the second, which is bigger than the third. Chick survival rates vary greatly based on local conditions, such as prey abundance and the amount of disturbance. A breeding couple typically raises only 1 young per clutch, though 2 chicks may fledge in some nests in a strong year. Because of the size differences, the oldest and largest chick has the greatest chance of survival. Chicks emerge with white down covering them. Adults must bring food to their mouths for the first 5 weeks or so. After this period, they can recognize food scraps on the nest floor and feed themselves. During the second week after emerging, the young develop their first feathers. When predators approach the nest, The chicks lie flat in the nest but will protect themselves if necessary. Adults, on the other hand, do little to protect the children. After exiting the nest, the juveniles stay with the adults for about 11 weeks. Young and non-breeding birds disperse, moving to wherever favorable circumstances exist. Juveniles have been known to travel over 850 kilometers in 7 to 8 months. Are wedge-tailed eagles in risk of extinction? The conservation state of the wedge-tailed eagle. The wedge-tailed eagle is the most common of the world's large eagles. Nonetheless, it is influenced by a variety of human pursuits. It has benefited from the opening of forests in eastern Australia as well as greater rabbit availability. Wedge-tailed eagles, on the other hand, are highly sensitive to forestry activities. Extensive clearing in the arid zones has decreased nesting resources. A breeding couple may abandon their nest if they are disturbed while preparing to deposit eggs. For many years, wedge-tailed eagles were persecuted for allegedly murdering lambs. Bounties were provided for dead eagles, and 147,237 were poisoned or shot in Western Australia between 1928 and 1968, and 162,430 in Queensland between 1951 and 1966. Indirect poisoning from dingo baits and pesticides remains a significant risk. The wedge-tailed eagle is endangered in Tasmania by habitat loss and intentional persecution. The wedge-tailed eagle is one of Australia's 24 diurnal, day-active bird species. Have you ever seen a wedge-tailed eagle take flight? You may recall the bird's heavy flight, as well as its slow, strong wing beats. Once on the wing, they soar effortlessly, circling at tremendous heights up to 2,000 meters. The flight feathers stretched like fingers and the wedge-shaped tail that lends the species its common name can be seen from below. Wedge-tailed eagles appear in many Aboriginal Australian dreaming tales. For example, the eagle bunjil is a significant creator being for the Kulin people of central Victoria. The eagle's claw takes the shape of Wilto, a constellation for the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains, the Southern Cross. In Latin, Aquila audax means brave eagle. Where can you find wedge-tailed eagles? The wedge-tailed eagle has a vast range that includes continental Australia, Tasmania, and southern Papua New Guinea. It favors wooded areas and open forests, but it can also be found on the coast and in the mountains. It is rarely found in jungles or coastal heaths. The species is the most prevalent among the world's large eagles. Although it is classified as least concern on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, it is completely protected in all Australian states and territories. Under the Environment Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act of 1999, the Tasmanian subspecies Aquila audax fleae is classified as endangered. Behavior of the wedge-tailed eagle. Wedge-tailed eagles are monogamous, which means they bond for life. Breeding couples are territorial, defending their hunting grounds as well as their big, impressive nests. Their homes, made of sticks and lined with leaves, can be 2 meters across, 3 meters deep, and weigh more than 400 kilograms. The nests are so big that smaller birds, such as finches, can nest on the underside, benefiting from the eagle's predator protection. Nests are typically built in the tallest tree in the area, having a commanding view of their territory. In areas of Australia where big trees are scarce, eagles will build nests in shrubs, telegraph poles, cliff faces, and even on the ground. Eggs are laid in reaction to food availability in the area. The chicks appear after 45 days of incubation, covered in white down. While 2 to 3 eggs may be deposited, the parents usually only raise 1 young per clutch. When food is limited, the larger chick may kill and consume its younger sibling. The majority of the wedge-tailed eagle's diet consists of mammals, primarily rabbits, hares, kangaroos, and wallabies, but they may also eat large birds, such as waterfowl and lizards. They will pursue live prey in pairs or groups, particularly when hunting large prey such as adult kangaroos. A single bird can raise half its body weight. Carrion is an important part of the diet. They eat road debris and dead animals. Farmers thought that wedge-tailed eagles killed sheep and lambs in the early to mid-1900s. A bounty was given for their annihilation, which resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of eagles. Eagles, it is now known, only attack sick or dead lambs and have little impact on the sheep industry. Wedge-tailed eagles are currently threatened by tree clearing and the loss of nesting sites, secondary poisoning, eating rabbits laced with pindone, for example, and collision with overhead lines, fences, and cars while devouring roadkill. The Tasmanian subspecies is threatened by disturbance and loss of nesting sites. At least 40% of Tasmania's woods and dry woodlands have been removed since settlement. What is bush heritage up to? Wedge-tailed eagles can be seen majestically soaring above nearly all of our reserves and partnership sites. Most reserves have appropriate nesting habitat, and visiting a wedgie nest is always a highlight. Importantly, the majority of our Tasmanian reserves, for example, Liffey Valley Reserves, Coalmine Creek, Drees Bluff, Liffey River, Aura Aura, Glover's Flat, provide shelter for the Tasmanian subspecies of the wedge-tailed eagle. We're protecting the species by assuring these magnificent eagles have plenty of nesting sites, as well as plenty of room to stretch their wings. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like to this video.